Hi guys, my name is Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about finding your why it's important to find your why, how to find your why, and we're going to talk about some roadblocks. We're going to do this through creating a list of 100 dreams, and that's going to help us create a vision for what we actually want our lives to look like, because we can't know where to go if we don't know where we're going. It turns out that it's extremely hard to figure out what you want to do when you don't know where you're going. That sounds so cliche, and I've heard a million creators and a million gurus tell me this, yet I am telling you, I wasn't able to create any traction on my life and my dreams until I had this crystal clear vision of what it is that I wanted to do and what I wanted my life to look like. So for instance, I used to have this goal of I want to be financially independent. Now I'm going to talk about financial independence in this video, but your dream could be anything and it relates, okay? But for the purposes of this example, my goal was I want to be financially independent. And I went years without being able to make any progress, no real progress towards this goal. But once I reframed my vision and said, I want to become financially independent by March of 2031 by creating a savings schedule and following my schedule so that I have time to be a musician and spend time with my daughter before she goes to college. You can see the huge difference, right? The huge difference between being like, I want to be financially independent, and being like, I'm going to have a savings goal and I want to be financially independent by this date so that I can do this list of things, right? Like all of a sudden, what sounds like a wish list kind of turns into something that has some parameters around it. And that is, once I created that vision, that's really when I was able to start making actual progress towards my goals. So I don't know why it is that having this crystal clear vision changed things so dramatically, but what I can tell you is that my feelings inside changed. Before, when I was like, I want to be financially independent, I would try a side hustle or I would try this or that, but nothing stuck and I wasn't able to make any traction. I wasn't able to cover any ground doing that. Once I got this really clear picture, it was like my internal motivation changed. I was actually making real progress because inside my body was like, do this. Like my drive ramped up in a way that just couldn't happen. Like I couldn't make it artificially happen without a real goal. So I know that gurus keep saying like you have to have a mission plan and a goal and it all becomes very hokey pokey sounding. But I'm telling you that if you can just put some really clear parameters around what you want, that your actions will change and you will actually make progress. So you got it, right? I get it, Mindy. I need to have a vision, but I don't have one. I don't know what to do. I have an idea. Let's be honest, I don't have an idea, but I've read about people who have good ideas. So there's this book, it's called 168 Hours. It's by Laura Vanderkam, and I just think she's brilliant. I'll put a link below, and I hope that you'll check out this book because it was life-changing for me. In her book, she talks about a list of 100 dreams. So basically, it's just what it sounds like. You make a list, 100 items, and it's just a list of things you want to do before you die. And it sounds very bucket listy, and maybe it is, I don't know, but just write the list. Don't put any boundaries on it, and it doesn't matter if they're realistic or not. Just write 100 things. She even recommends you can put, make 10 lists of 10 if you're having a hard time getting started, 10 skills you want to acquire, 10 restaurants you want to eat at, 10 books you want to read. If that's an easier approach. If you find this to be super easy and you're just like, bam, 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 I have 100 things, I have 200 things, you know what, keep writing. Just keep writing. Just get them all down. Make a big list, okay? So the bigger your list, the better. And don't worry about if you can do it or not. I want to climb Mount Everest. Trust me, I don't want to climb Mount Everest. Maybe you do. Whatever. Put it on the list, okay? And we're not going to put any boundaries on it. And the thing is that just writing down anything will produce thoughts. Also, if you're having a hard time, think about the things you enjoyed as you were a child. I liked teaching. And I also liked being in the spotlight. And I liked a lot of things that kind of helped lead me to this YouTube channel. So maybe you'll find something similar. You know, I also liked the idea of having a business when I was a kid. Like, I wanted to have a lemonade stand so bad. I lived in northern Michigan. There's no such thing as a lemonade stand on a dead-end dirt road, but it was my dream. So if you could follow through some of those things, you know, put them on the list, just write it down. Okay, so now we have this big list, right? And hopefully this big list is going to help you so you can look back at it, give yourself some time. There's no time frame on this, and don't feel like you have to like write 100 things and analyze it and come up with your vision. I wish it worked like that. For me, it took a really long time. I started gathering ideas, and you know, I still have a list. I still write things in it. And it's still really helpful to me sometimes to reflect back on what I want to do. But hopefully from this list, you can start to see some recurring themes. Maybe you want to help people, and that shows up in several ways. Like, you want to help your aging parents. You want to volunteer with children. You know, if you see a recurring theme of like helping people, then you can know that maybe helping people should be part of your vision. If you see some, like, recurring themes with animals, like you want to adopt pets, or you want to help in an animal shelter, or you want to rescue kittens, whatever it is, if you see those recurring themes, take those seriously, because if you're seeing a trend, that you're probably onto something. And if you see something that's like a wild, like random thing, and upon second thought, you're like, you know what, I probably don't actually want to do that, you can cross things off. It's okay. It's okay to cross things off the list. At first, when I crossed things off the list, I was like, oh no, I'm closing all these doors. It's just a piece of paper, okay? It's just a piece of paper. It's just a list. You can add it back later if you want, but feel free to just cross things off that aren't reasonable. And eventually, you'll be able to kind of compile some things and kind of get a more clear idea of what you want to do, where you want to live, how you want to spend your time, what do you want to look at every day. Just to think about those things and curate your list and come up with some sort of a vision for your future. All right, so it all sounds great and well. Oh, 100 ideas and a list, and it's gonna be so easy. But sometimes when the rubber meets the road, it's not that easy. And I had a really hard time because I had some roadblocks to creating my list and creating a vision. The first roadblock, I was so far away from my vision, and there were huge elements of my life that were not what I wanted them to be. And they included my career, my relationship, my living conditions, like my house. So that's major, right? Like, between the time you spend with your partner and the time you spend at your job and the time you spend in your house, that's like 100% of your time. So if you're not happy with any of those things, your vision might be a long ways away. And then you start battling with these internal feelings like, does that mean that I have to leave my relationship? Does that mean I need to find a new job? If I do, then does my vision look like the same career path or like a totally different career path? Do I just change employers, or do I pursue something completely different? Or do I become my own business owner? And you can see how it can become difficult to create a vision when your brain is like, blah, 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 blah. What am I gonna do? We're going to do the best we can to create the best vision that we can, and just know that it's fluid, okay? For me, the answer was to leave the relationship and to change employers, although to stay in the same career field. I didn't have to start there. I didn't have to start by like, okay, I'm out of this relationship and I'm quitting my job and I'm doing all this stuff all at once and I'm changing up my life because my vision's over here. It doesn't have to be like this crazy all of a sudden thing. You can create a vision in your head. If it's too overwhelming to think about the big things, then don't. Think about the little things. I'm not saying that we should put off making these huge life-changing decisions. If you're having a hard time, then even just focusing on the things that are more easily within your control, it's still worthwhile. Also, if you are struggling with these big decisions, can I just say one of the best decisions I made was actually to seek help. I didn't seek help for a long period of time. It was a very short amount of time, but I was in this circular path. If you feel stuck and like you can't make a decision, just know that telling your problems to an impartial person can really give you some perspective and really help you out of that circular logic. But otherwise, with your list, at least focus on the things that are within your grasp to focus on at this moment. You know, if you want to be a musician, then you can think about how you can add elements of that into your life, or how you can create your vision to include music. Another roadblock that's kind of similar to what I just talked about, but is perfection. For some reason, when I was thinking about my vision, I was hung up on like, okay, once I have my vision, it's set in stone. It's like I've etched it into platinum or uranium or some hard thing. Are those even rocks? It's like once you've written it down, like it's permanent. It's not permanent, okay? And so then if you're like me, you're like, but what if I'm working towards the wrong thing? But what if I'm spending all my time on this goal? Well, friends, let me impart some knowledge from another creator that I follow. Dawn from A Minimal Mom shared her story that someone said to her, the time is going to pass anyways. And those words really struck me. The time is going to pass, whether you're working towards a goal or not. So I would rather work towards something than let other people and other forces push me where they want me to go. Instead, I'm going to choose a goal and a vision, and I'm going to work towards it. And if I change my mind, then I'll just go the other way. But chances are, whatever you've worked towards is going to help you towards the next thing, even if you don't get all the way there. For instance, one of my goals is to be a full-time musician, or at least to spend a large portion of my time with music every single day. My goal to get there is financial independence. And even if I change my idea, working towards financial independence is really going to serve any goal that I have in the future. Think of that when you're creating your goals and your vision of getting there. Would it be easy or not easy to change course? It's okay if you're locking yourself into something that's not easy to change course. Just be aware that that's what's happening, okay? Like if I decided to pursue a master's degree in bass, then I would be really narrowing down my options, and that's okay. That's not the route that I'm taking. Right now, I'm just working on financial independence so I can do what I want to do. But just be aware that you can change your mind, and when you're creating your goals, you can shape them in a way that makes it easy to change your mind if you don't feel secure about the goals that you're setting. So there, we've talked about it, guys. We've talked about why your why is so important. We've talked about your list of 100 dreams and how to shape your vision for what you want for your future. What do you want your days to look like? And we've also talked about what could be some road bumps. As a bonus, I just want to tell you, creating this vision has given me like a zest or like an excitement every day I get up, and I'm excited to be doing what I'm doing because I'm living my life closer and closer to my vision. So I hope that you can find some happiness in this journey. Thank you so much. If you found some value, it would be so helpful to me if you would like click the like button. It helps the algorithm spread this video to other people. Also, if you could just comment below and tell me, what is your big dream? Like, do you have like one big idea? Because I think it's amazing and I want to read what you guys are doing. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And I hope that you're still on board with me and that you're coming with me and we're going to live these amazing lives. It's going to be super fun. I'll see you guys next week in the next video.